All right, guys.
Yeah,
so
good.
Thank you. All right. Well, I should have you guys say good morning to Anna since it didn't actually record last time. So, in Latin, Latine.
Salve.
Thank you. Salve. All right. Okay, so we're going to have a drill. So you can write on the same piece of paper, so just underneath it, drill number 2, or put the date.
What's the date?
The 24th.
Wait, we're that far into January?
You know, it's crazy, right?
It's really weird.
Which means we're that close to June.
I like the way you think. Optimist?
No, that's not necessarily a bad thing that we're that far into January.
You're just
It's
pointing.
an observation.
Thank you. The 24th. Okay. These are going to be short sentences practicing the reflexive or personal pronouns. Okay? I know we just learned them. Again, we're going to use them to. So the first one, Cicero praises him. So first you need to think about whether it's going to be a reflexive sentence. And then pick the appropriate pronoun. So Cicero praises him. The next one is Cicero praises himself. The third one is Cicero praises them. The next one is they praise themselves. Two more. First, Cicero praises his house, like his friend's house. So Cicero praises his friends in parentheses house. And the last one is Cicero praises his own house. One more time? Yes. So the first one, Cicero praises him. How are we going to say that, Emil?
Cicero laudat
Him. Not himself, right? So it's not reflexive. So what are you going to use?
Put is.
You have the right word, but again, remember, it's still a pronoun, so it's still going to change its case. So what case do we need here? Cicero praises him. Accusative. So what's the accusative of it? Eum. So Cicero praises him is Cicero laudat eum. If you want to say Cicero praises himself, okay, this part doesn't change, right? Cicero laudat say, good, which is also in the accusative. Right? Cicero praises them. It is just the plural of eum. What's that? We say them. Eos. And they praise themselves. So we're going to change the verb. So it's going to be what? Shirley? Laudan. They praise themselves. Say, right? Because remember, say doesn't change to reflect number or gender, right? It just reflects back to the subject, which here is they. So Cicero praises his someone else's house would be what? Emily, what would we say?
I don't think we sort of say casa.
So it's someone else's, so like his friend's house. So what are we going to do with casa? What's the ending going to be? Not casa. Kasam, good, accusative. Kasam. We really want to say the house of him, right? So how are we going to say that? Kasam. Eus, good. Who said that? Kasam Eus. Okay. As opposed to Cicero praises his own house, which would be Kasam. How do we say his own house? That was my own. So you're going to use the reflexive, but remember it has its own corresponding adjective. Just like you don't say the house of me, you say my house using meusam. You're going to use that same adjective for the reflexive. Okay? So Cicero laudat kasam. What's that reflexive adjective?
Su.
Good. Su.
Oh wait, is it suas or suam?
Suam, because it's an adjective, right? So it's going to share the ending, the kind of ending of it now.
But what is eus?
Because this is not, so for the non-reflexive, if you're just using a personal pronoun for the third person, then you do not use, they don't have a corresponding adjective for them. There's no like his, her, its adjective if it's not reflexive. So you have to use of him, of her, of it. It's the one time you don't have an adjective to express possession. So it's the only exception. Okay. If we want to say Cicero praises their house, how would we say that name? Cicero laudat kasam.
Their house.
This is his house, right? Cicero praises the house of him. If we wanted to say Cicero praises their house, the house of them.
Would it be just plural?
So you would just make eus plural, right? Because right now it's of him, and you want to say of more than one of him, of them. So how do we make eus plural?
So eubus.
We want what case though? Of them.
Accusative.
Of.
Genitive.
Uh-huh.
So eorum.
Eorum, exactly. So Cicero laudat kasam eorum. So he praises their house. If we wanted they praise their own house, Ida, what would it be? So you'd have to change the verb first, right? Like.
Oh, laudans. Kasam. Just suo.
Su, but it's an adjective, and what's it modifying? Shirley and Emily.
The house.
The house. So laudat kasam su.
Oh, does the adjective also not do plurals?
Right, because it's just an adjective. So
So it's just
suam.
suam.
Suam. Good. So it would be exactly the same as saying he praises his house. They praise their own house. Okay. The suam doesn't change. It doesn't have to because it always reflects back to what?
To the subject.
To the subject. Okay. That's why it does not need to change based on gender or number. Okay. Because you can always get the gender and number from looking at the subject. Okay. All right. So I will collect those. Put your name, Bo. Your name should already be on them. And go ahead and get out your exercises that were homework. Also, guys, looking at your previous drills, most of you had slight spelling errors on your superlatives. Remember, the superlatives have double consonants in them. So if you want to say the most famous, how would you say the most famous? Clarissimus, right? Or with two S's, right? So always two S's. If you want to say the swiftest, how do you say the swiftest? Hilarious. And that also is going to have a double consonant. So it has two R's in it. Okay? And the easiest, how do you say the easiest?
It's 2 L's.
Good. Bacillimus with two L's. Okay, so always a double consonant. Okay, and that's part of the, normally I don't take off for spelling, but since that's part of the ending, that would count on the quiz. Okay. All right. So, starting next week, you guys again don't have to bring your red books with you to class unless you want to.
I brought both.
That's good, but next week you just have to bring the
I didn't start for class.
So, in case anyone didn't have their red book, I'm going to do exercise A first. I'll put it up on the projector. So exercise A, remember, is just Latin to English. Okay?
But we were supposed to do A.
No, you were supposed to do B and C. So I'm just going to start with exercise A. Okay. Nick, would you read the first one from your book or from us?
So, frater eius matrem suam cefelit is the second sentence part of it.
Yeah.
Poster se in mare ie.
Yeah, good. Good. So what would frater eius mean?
So his brother, cefelit.
Good. So this is one of our new words we went over on Tuesday. Do you remember fallere? Cephali falsus?
Oh, like to deceive.
To deceive. Good. So his brother.
His brother deceived.
Whom did he deceive?
His mother.
His mother. Good. Meaning his own mother, right? So suam is our reflexive, and it reflects back to whom, Aaron? Who does suam reflect back to? If we say to the frater, exactly. So he killed. His brother deceived his own mother, right? Good.
Afterwards, he. Can you say he fled?
Fled, yekit. What verb is that?
Threw away.
He threw, and what did he throw? What's the object?
He threw himself.
Himself. Good. So
Okay.
he threw himself into the sea because he deceived his mother. He felt bad. I don't know. I didn't make up that.
Or did you? Did he survive?
I don't know. I don't think so.
Last time I threw myself into the
Well, he could have been like a cliff diver.
So again, so say is the reflexive pronoun, right? So that's what you use for everything except possession. If you want possession, you have to use the reflexive adjective. Okay. Sure.
Should say ipsum fallere center quantity sed me non facilisti. Okay. You.
Good. Because to has to be nominative, so it must be your subject. So you.
You always, is it you? Always. You can, no, always. Yeah, you can always.
Can, but what tense? Optimisti.
You could.
Good. You could always.
You could always deceive. You yourself could always deceive. You. Always.
You yourself, right? So you. So there's nothing. There's ipse is actually attached to the accusative here. So you're right the first one. So you could always deceive you yourself, right? So you have the reflexive there. You could always deceive yourself. Yourself, right? You have the reflexive and what do we call it? Ipse. What does it do? Emphatic intensifier. Okay. So you could always deceive you yourself. Say.
But you never deceived me.
But you never deceived me. Okay. Good. Aaron?
Munera publica optimis non pessimis civibus tribui debet. Better, or would you start with Munera?
I would start with Munera publica. That's going to be your subject.
Public duty.
Public duties, exactly. Or public offices or services.
Is
and then you want to go to your verb, right?
Would it be debit?
Good.
So ought to.
Very nice. So then we're looking for an infinitive, right? Where's our infinitive? Public duties ought to.
SCB. No.
Not a normal looking infinitive. Do you see where the infinitive is? Tribui, because that's what kind of infinitive, Emily? What kind of infinitive is tribui? Passive, good. So public duties ought to be. What was that new word? Tribuo, tribuary.
Grant. Public duties ought to be granted.
Very good.
Better.
And in what case are these guys going to be? Think in English, what would we want after that? Public duties ought to be granted or given. What case do we want to look for after verbs of giving? Dative. So how are we going to translate optimis non pessimis civibus? Ought to be given.
Better.
Well, so public duties ought to be given. How do we translate the dative? To optimis.
Better.
Not better. More than better.
Best.
To the best. Non pessimis.
Not the word. Citizens.
Citizens. Good.
Armas sumemos et nos fortiter defendemos contra pessimus hoste. We took arms and we strongly defended against the worst enemies.
Good. Almost perfect. Look at your tenses though. Sumemus and defendemos.
Oh, we will.
We will. Good. So we will take up arms and we will strongly defend ourselves. Understanding. Good. Emily? Good. What case is the boy? Whoever. And he's got to be the object of something. So where's your verb?
I called friend.
Good.
The boy running.
Good. Very nice. Because what kind of word is current 10, Mark?
Is it a active verb?
What part of the verb though?
I don't.
Present.
Present.
Yeah, it's present, it's active, but what is it here?
I thought it is.
Participle, present active participle. So just as Emily translated, I saw or caught sight of the running boy, or the boy as he was running, said. Good. Good, he did. Good. And then scanning the rest of the line, what kind of words do we have here? Good, we have this non-wisdom entity, which is what kind of word?
Oh, but he didn't want to be. No, but he himself. No.
So you are going to use that, say, reflexive pronoun. What kind of construction are we going into? Accusative infinitive or indirect statement, right? So, but he believed.
No,
What do we have to add in?
That.
Good. That, and then you can say he himself. Okay. So, but he believed that he himself, and then you can translate your infinitive.
Was not to be seen.
What kind of infinitive is it? But we so meant there, right? So the whole thing is be seen.
Or it's
What kind of infinitive is it?
I know what it's translated, but I don't know.
Remember, it's just the tense and voice. Yeah.
Perfect passive.
The perfect passive infinitive. So, and we have a verb that's already in the perfect tense. So remember what happens when you use the perfect passive or the perfect infinitive in indirect statement. When do you use it? Why would you use the perfect infinitive rather than the present infinitive here?
Yeah.
Which expresses what? But remember, the tenses of infinitives, it expresses action that happened previously, right? So we can't say, but he believed that he was not seen, because that would be contemporaneous action. So to make it past action, we have to say he believed that he had not been seen. Amen. By me. Okay? Again, I know it's a lot to take in, and we've done a lot of grammar this past semester, but it's not going away. None of it. Okay? So we just have to keep reviewing it, try to keep it, keep reviewing your notes, right? When we study for quizzes, don't just study the new material, study the older stuff as well. Again, these constructions that we're learning are super common. They're going to appear, indirect statement is going to appear in 1 out of every 2 sentences you'll see for the rest of your Latin studying careers, okay? So, got to learn them. Okay? So for exercise B, do you guys want to put them on the board or just go over them? We just translated the sections in italics, right? So it's up to you.
We just see on the board.
Yeah, we can definitely do C, but do you guys want to just do B out loud?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So for we saw his brother, is this going to be reflexive or not reflexive, Adele?
Not reflexive.
Good. So how are we going to say that? Eos. We saw. So we could actually translate this, right? We saw is what, and then
We saw the brother of.
Mm-hmm. So what would we saw be in Latin? Vidimos, good. So vidimos fratrem eius, we saw his brother. You will see their friend's name, reflexive or not reflexive?
Not reflexive.
Good. So how do you say their?
There.
Mm-hmm.
Aorum.
Good, because it's really the friends of them, right? Good. Emily, the girl loved her own mother.
It is reflected.
Good. Sue, what was the ending? Well, think about what case her mother would be in this sentence, though. She loved her mother. What case would her mother be? Accusative. Suam. Very nice. The girl loved her own father, Shirley. Suom, right? Because it's got to be masculine because it's modifying father. So even though it's a girl, right, that doesn't have any bearing on what the ending on the adjective is going to be, because it's just going to modify its noun and case number and gender. The girl loved her own horses, Mark?
Suas.
Sue.
Suam.
I just didn't hear you the first time.
Suas.
So you're gonna use suas aun, but it has to modify the horses, right?
Okay.
So what case are the horses gonna be? She loved her horses.
Is it sui?
Tell me what case it is. She loved her horses.
Gender. Accusative.
Accusative, right? Accusative, plural, and what gender are the horses?
Plural. Feminine. Masculine.
Masculine. So you need the adjective to have the accusative, plural, masculine ending.
So sua. Suas.
Suos would be feminine. Make it masculine. Suos. Okay, so equos suos. And so the next sentence is she loved her horses, meaning not her own horses, but that other girl's horses. So how are we? Is this going to be reflexive or not?
No.
Not reflexive. Good. So how are we going to say her?
So, sui.
That would be reflexive though, right? You can only use sui or suas or say when it's a reflexive sentence. If this is not reflexive, how do we say her or his or their? What word can we use for that? Good, so you're going to use is and it's really the horses of her. So what case are you going to use?
Gender. So,
what's the genitive singular? Is a is the dative, but not the one between. Eus. Okay. So it would be equos eus, which by the way, guys, is the same as saying his. So the word for his and her is completely identical. It's still eus, right? Which means you have to rely on context. Okay. Context will tell you whether we're talking about a girl or a boy. Okay. The girl liked herself, Adele. Is that reflexive?
Yeah.
Yes.
She likes say.
Say. Exactly. Okay. Ida, he lost his money and theirs. So we have two things. So his money is suam, right? Because it's a modified peculiam in the accusative. So that is reflective. He lost his own money, and he lost their money. At eorum. Good. So you have the reflexive here, and then a not reflexive one there. Good. Amir? So they will defend themselves and us. So again, you have two things.
Say and notes.
Yeah, good, exactly. So reflexive, not reflexive. Say and notes. Nate, we defend ourselves, and you must defend yourself. So how would you say ourselves?
I wrote notes for some reason.
Because that's the answer.
Oh.
Right, because you want to use the reflexive. In this case, the reflexive is the same as the personal pronoun. So that would be we defend us. In English, we have to say we defend ourselves, because we do differentiate between those two. So nos, and you must defend yourself.
Does it say?
Not say, because you only use say when you're talking about the third person. So he must defend himself. That would be say. Or they must defend themselves. That would be say. But there is a separate pronoun for you. Right?
So, to... Is it Tibby?
That would be dative. We want
Accusative.
So, tui, tibi,
Te.
te. Okay? So, nos and te. Emily, she spoke to herself. Good. Very nice, because this is reflexive. She's speaking to herself. Okay, so, and we wanted, in what case is that? Dative. Very nice.
What was the name?
City.
I didn't know that.
Okay. And they gave themselves much praise. Sure.
Also
Also Sibi, right? Because the idea is they gave much praise to themselves. Okay? And again, remember Sibi, sui doesn't change depending on number or gender. Just reflects the subject. Good. Very good, guys. Okay, so you guys want to put the exercise C up on the board? Does anyone want to volunteer?
I do one.
Sure. Shirley 32.
I do 4.
Okay. And if you can try to keep them in this, like this portion of the board, so that they can be recorded.
Hi, Anna.
We already said hello to him.
I thought that was one year.
I thought she meant like near the middle.
Like from here.
Okay.
And, yeah. Yeah, but you can do it on this one.
Oh, because. Usually there's like ice in my car. Oh, my car, not in my car. That's, okay.
Oh, wait, what? I think this passive.
Because we're so used to saying dikitur.
Yeah, that's
but,
what I wrote.
But luckily all you have to do is cut off the passive ending, right?
Take. Oh, wait.
So dikitur is he is said, dikit is he said. But remember, we're not using direct quotes.
No.
Because it's not, he says, I have 4 brothers.
Oh,
if he says that, he himself has 4 brothers.
Oh, but I don't remember what it was before that then. Well,
How do you say it? So he says, and then we're going to go into accusative infinitive. So you want, he says that he himself. What's our brand new word for he himself?
Ips.
You can use ipse as well, but it also has to be reflexive, right?
Oh,
He's not
so
saying. You're going to use sui, sibi, say. And here you want in the accusative.
So sibi.
Accusative.
No. Su. Say.
Say. Mm-hmm. Good. So dikit say, he says that he, and then you could add ipse here. Did people add ipse in?
Yeah.
Okay, so what would the form be? We also want it to be accusative. So dikit say ips.
Ipsum.
Ipsum. Good. Mm-hmm. Good.
Could you put ipsum without say?
Oh, sure. If it was like he says that the man himself does that. Yeah, definitely. But then you would have to have a different object, a different word that it was modifying. You couldn't use say there, but you could definitely use ipsum without say. Good. And then we're in accusative infinitive, right? So we need to have that infinitive.
Oh.
So dikit say ipsum. Just throw it into the infinitive. Not habet, but that's the infinitive for habe.
Oh, habe.
Habe, right?
What quattros, quatres were?
Good. And remember, it's quatuor, and that doesn't change because it's one of our nice indeclinable ones. So quatuor with 2 T's and a U. Fratre. Good. Did anyone use different words than that or have questions about that one?
I just put ipsum.
Without the say?
Yeah.
So you need the say in this case. You're always going to use, whenever you have indirect statement and the subject is talking about him or herself, you always have to put say in there.
Oh.
Otherwise it would sound like he says that the man himself has 4 brothers. But if you put say, then we know he's talking about himself. He says that he himself has 4 brothers. Okay? So the second one, we always praise ourselves and say the worst things about others. So semper laudamus se et dicimus pessima de aliis. Did anyone get anything different from that?
Oh wait, if you know.
Good. Because say is only for what?
The third person.
Only for the third person. Here we have the first person plural, so we want to say we always praise nos. Semper laudamus nos. Anyone get anything different or use different words? Sorry? Well, we want to say we always say. So we're still going to use dicimos. Dicite would be like you said, but we haven't had a change of subject in English. Pessima is what form here, Mark?
Feminine.
Nope.
Neuter.
Neuter.
Present.
Case number, gender.
Okay. Neuter. First person.
Case number, gender.
Yeah, first. Case.
Number means singular or plural.
Okay. Present. Right?
No.
No,
Singular and plural.
it's plural.
It's plural, neuter, plural. Good. In what case we say the worst thing?
Accusative.
Accusative. Very nice. Okay. So again, just
I
to
knew
show
it. I
you,
just didn't know it.
just to show you it's done perfectly here. Anytime you want to say your things, all the things, good things, you just use the neuter plural, right? We've seen that a lot. Entrust yourselves and all your things to us. So mandate vos et omne vostrum nobis. Okay, can we get anything different from that?
I use credit.
So credit is like a trust. So if you're saying trust me, you would use credit. If you're talking about entrusting, which is more like about giving something over, you want to use either mando or we do have another word. Remember the other word?
Serva.
Starts with a C. Committo, to throw together with. But that's fine. So mandate or committite vos, yourselves. And then all your things, what form are we going to use here? Accusative, and how are we going to express that things idea? Plural, and what gender? Oh, well, accusative, right, because it's entrust your things.
But it should be.
But what gender is it going to be? Neuter. Okay, so what's our neuter, accusative, plural ending going to be? Good. Omnia, westra, right, to modify it. So omnia westra, to us nobis. Okay. And the leader of the enemy, having seen us, using that as an ablative absolute, killed himself. Okay. So, dux barbarorum, conspectis nobis interfecit se. Anyone get anything different with that? Okay.
Well, can we use hostia?
Yes, definitely. Dux hostia.
He wouldn't really work because that's a different kind of enemy, right?
Right, because that'd be like the personal enemies, which probably don't have a leader. So.
I used Weasels
Instead of conspectis, yeah, but good. It still has to be in the same form, right? So it still has to be we nobis we with us having been seen.
Okay.
Okay, but you can definitely use that verb. Good. Okay. The only suggestion, remember to close this off. You have a comma there, but you want a comma on both sides because remember the ablative absolute is totally separated from the rest of the sentence, so it should be separated by commas. Okay. Good. Are there any questions about that? All right. So those of you who have your green books, I think we have enough for everyone to at least share today. Okay, we're gonna start looking at these stories. I think the first one is on page 2. All the way back.
This is kind of depressing. There's so much.
I feel like so unaccomplished.
We'll move quickly.
That's fun.
Because the first
This is
unit,
fun.
the first unit of the book is just review. It's nothing new. It's just reviewing everything from the very beginning of last year. So I actually want you to look. Sorry, I want you to look at page 8 first.
It's so new and not.
And when you just start it, like, it's hard to doesn't stay because there's nothing holding it down.
Don't worry, you'll crush it soon. Okay, so page 8. So each of the units, so we're going to continue doing until we finish off the grammar from the red book, that grammar. But alongside it, we're going to be doing the vocabulary review and reading review from the new book. Okay? Which, as you've seen, you guys can stomach a little bit of review on older grammatical concepts.
What does that mean?
It means what I told you guys before. That grammar does not go away. So on page 8, there's the review vocabulary. I think we all know what Peleus means. What is negotium? Negotiation comes from it.
Argue.
Yeah, so it's the opposite of otium. What's otium? Peace or leisure. So if you don't have leisure, you have
War.
stress, work. Okay, so negotium means like business, work, labor. Okay.
Should we write this down?
If you don't know them, absolutely, you should make a note to yourself because I will be drawing from quizzes from these as well as your new vocabulary.
Wait, negotium means
Work. Slave, thank you. Liberi, who are the liberi? Children. Okay. Officium. Duty. What gender is it, Mark?
Accusative?
Gender is it?
Oh, sorry, I just go there automatically. Masculine?
Officium.
Neuter.
Neuter. What's a synonym that we've learned for officium meaning duty? We just saw it in the reading, in the first exercise. Aaron translated. Starts with an M.
Oh, my bad. Wait.
From exercise A that we had on the board. It said public duties, public offices.
Oh, yeah.
It does. Muneris, also neuter. Okay, you might as well make a note of that too, because now I'm strongly motivated to put that on a quiz. We're, man, good. Populus, people. The people, right? The nation. Mm-hmm. Durus, hard, harsh, firm. Pauci, few, right? Like a few people. And what are if you were to give me the 3 genders of Pauci on a vocab quiz, you'd say Pauci, which is masculine, right? What would the feminine form be, Peter? The feminine form? Paukai, and the neuter? Pauka, right? Because it's always in the plural, just by its nature, right? You can't have one few. It has to be plural. Appello?
To run away.
So you're thinking of appello like to drive, but this is to name or to call. Okay, what conjugation is appello? First. Appello, appellare, appellavi. Now we go. Sail, also first conjugation. Teneo, to hold or to have. What conjugation is teneo? Second, good. Dokeo, also second conjugation, means
Teach.
to teach, very nice. Obtineo, to obtain, to get hold of. Mm-hmm. Good. Timeo,
Scared.
to be scared. Mm-hmm. What are the principal parts? So timeo, timere, timui, good. Habeo, to have. Okay, also second conjugation. Alright, so again, you're responsible for them. These are words that you've known since last year, so it shouldn't be too big of a deal. So the story's on page 2. Publius and Secunda. For some reason the book goes back to giving the story names in English. I have no idea why.
Yeah, that was really weird. I'm not going to complain.
So this is a story about Publius and Secunda. Those are people's names. So it's more clear in the later. Okay. Shirley, would you start out as Secunda, please?
Ubi, who is speaking? Where are you, Publius?
Where
Where
were you? Publius, good. And notice Publi is what case, Adele?
Janda? Or I?
It's vocative. Why does it have that Publi ending on there? Good. So remember, the vocative is almost always the same as what case? The nominative, except when? Except if it's a second declension noun ending in us or ius. So if you have Marcus, he goes to Marquet. If you have someone like Publius, he goes to Publi. Okay. Emil, would you be Publius?
Romano.
That's up to you. I will pull format for the quizzes, but it's up to you what you want to write.
In plural Romano fui secunda.
Mm-hmm.
I was in the Roman form secunda.
Secunda, good. Shirley, back to you.
When would you see the lake? What?
Quem.
Or
What gender is quem? Not what, because that would be quid, right?
Sorry. Do you have those this already or not?
No, I don't.
Okay.
3, actually. Thank you.
So, is it you saw, or who did you see there?
Good. Except we don't say who did you see, we say
Who?
what. Whom, right, accusative. Whom did you see? There, Publius. Good. Publius. When you're
Pater nostrum et Augustum principem civitatis vidi illum vi hacem constituit nonne de hace audiusti pax Augusta a populo grato appellatur. I saw our father and Augustus, the leader of our people.
Mm-hmm. He's still talking about Augustus, so illum.
He
Uh-huh. Constituo, constituere. Established, good.
So he established.
He
Established peace.
He who established peace, exactly.
Who else? No one else?
Nonne, remember nonne? Just non, and then the question word ne at the end. Good, so it anticipates a yes answer.
So have you heard about this piece?
Good, and to make it even stronger for expecting a yes answer, you could say, haven't you heard, didn't you hear about this piece?
Peace Augustus. It's been called Peace Augustus by the grateful people.
Good, and appellatur is just present tense. Good, so it is being called, or it is called the Pax Augusta, the Augustan peace. Go.
Si Augustus princeps civitatis est, esne pater noster, what does P stand for?
Just like Publius. So Publius stands for, P stands for Publius.
Oh, Publius Caecilius Rufus princeps familiae. If Augustus is the piece, where's the verb? Well, S, but
if he is the princeps, does anyone know what princeps means?
The priest.
No priest, but we do get a word from it directly. Prince, leader. Mm-hmm. So if Augustus is the leader, literally means like the chief person. So if he's the leader
of the people, is he our father?
Which is our father.
Or is our father Publius Caecilius Rufus, the leader of our family?
Good, of our family or our household. Very nice. So in this sentence, what do we call grammatically Publius Caecilius Rufus, where it's set off by commas there? I don't remember what we call that. Is our father.
Descriptive, or something, adjective, clause.
It's not an adjective, right?
Oh.
Pater and Publius Caecilius Rufus are both nouns. So when you want to use one noun to provide more descriptive information about another noun like that, when you set it off by commas, what do we call that? One noun being in
Apposition.
apposition to another. Very nice. Okay. So just like in the previous sentence also, I saw Augustus, the chief or the leader of the state. Okay, that's apposition. Okay, let's have a new Publius. Nate.
Sorry, what line are we?
Line 9, ita est.
Ita est non autem princeps sed pater familialis appellatur. Mater nostra fulvia mater familias est. What's ita?
It's like seek. Seek and ita both mean
Yes.
well, they're used for yes because they mean what?
Correct.
In this way. Okay, or so. So ita est.
So
If
this.
you don't know that, you should write it down.
I have one that's here.
Wait, but what does ita mean on it by itself?
In this
without
way.
est?
In this way.
No.
So ita est would be est in this way.
This in this way.
Est is your verb. It is, right? It is in this way, or it is so. So it is so.
So it is so. No. I don't recognize these words.
Autem, like said. So, but
But
he
no.
is, but he is not appellator.
But he's not called
The princeps.
the leader.
Said pater familias, which they give you a note on.
But
So it's just like saying pater familiae. Familias is a genitive.
but the family's father.
Yeah, the father of the family. So pater familias, has anyone heard that term in English? We use that too. The pater familias for the Romans, he was the head of the household. He had absolute power over everyone in the household. Okay, if anyone's seen O Brother, Where Art Thou? None of you read my Greek. You haven't seen that movie?
No.
It's very good. It's the Odyssey. I don't know why Dr. Patterson doesn't show.
We showed it.
You saw it?
We
So
showed
it's a
We
Colin
showed it
Brothers
in
movie.
freshman year. It's long, I think. No, the
As
Odyssey
long
is
as
long.
the
No,
movie.
it's long. The Odyssey is long. Sorry, I did the two movies.
Not as long as the Odyssey.
It's not 3 months.
So he's saying Augustus is the princeps of the state. The father is the princeps of the house, and we call that the pater familias.
So our mother Fulvia is the mother of the.
So she's the corresponding one.
Unedited.
Fulvia.
Okay, so it is so, but he's not called the princeps, but the pater familias. Our mother Fulvia is the mater familias. Quid facet pater familias? What does that mean? Quid? What does?
The pater familias do.
What does the paterfamilias do? Okay, and then we'll have a list of it. So for homework, I'm giving you exercises on reflexives. Don't lose these sheets.
We have class on Monday.
On Monday. So you are going to do exercises, unless you don't listen to me, then you will do all the exercises. Exercises 8 through 53. But if you look at them, they're repetitive. Okay, they're using the same basic vocabulary, recombining it in different ways to practice the reflexive. Okay, so the vocabulary is very simple. The sentences are very simple, and it's totally fine if you want to use the little quotation marks to not repeat everything. Like in the first one, Kaisar Eos Serwabit, Kaisar Eom Serwabat. Right, you really only need to change the translation of Eos and Eom. Okay, and that's totally fine by me. Okay, any questions about that? You can get started on that. I will collect your exercises from last night.
Skill.
Your what?
Oh, I put them on the back of my notes.
That's okay for this time. Next time.